Hi guys, my name is Nonima Tikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Judge Ratha and how hostile he is towards Absalom Zungu. Even though he's trying to minimize it, but you can see, guys, my mouth, because wow, Judge Ratha, I'm stressed, guys. Even though he tries, or Judge Ratha is trying to hold himself. In fact, I don't think he's just trying. He is also aware that you can't mess with that Zungu man. Zungu is not here to play. Zungu wants answers for why is this thing happening the way it is happening, or why it happened the way it happened. Why, if he is the reason the accused were arrested, why was he never called to come and talk about that? This means he's saying, to show you, my lord, that I had nothing to do with the statement. Look at how they treated me. They did not call me to come and talk about that in this courtroom and give testimony about that because they knew I had nothing to do with the so-called statement that they're saying that I did. That's Babu Zungu there on the witness box. But Judge Ratha is so hostile towards him. So something strange has been happening inside the courtroom of Judge Ratha, and you've been watching very closely also. You already know exactly what I'm talking about because I've already mentioned. Because ever since Absalom Zungu stepped into the witness box, Judge Ratha Mukhatleng has been on fire. He has been annoyed, not the good kind of fire. He has been very, very dismissive, very annoyed. I'm talking interruptions, visible annoyance, raised the eyebrows, raised the voice, and the level of skepticism that could burn a hole through bulletproof glass. That's Judge Ratha for you where he is. Let's talk about the hostility where it begins. From the very first moment Zungu tried to explain how his signature magically appeared on a statement he swears he never signed, the judge's face was saying, I don't buy a single word of you. I don't buy a single word of that nonsense that you are saying. And trust me, it wasn't subtle. It wasn't subtle. He didn't hide it. He didn't even try to soften the blow. He was showing it to us. And also, time and again, Zungu tried to clarify something. Boom, interruptions from the judge. And every time the defense asked a good question, boom, objection from Baloyi. Even sometimes the judge was doing the objections on behalf of Baloyi. He was doing the objections on behalf of Baloyi himself. He was doing that, and it was not nice. And I remember Mgomezulu used to talk about it and say, you are entering the arena, my lord, or Ati, the court is witnessing now because he has been fagaziling on behalf of the state witnesses. You guys, there are a lot of things that happen in that courtroom of Judge Ratha. Let's talk about his dismissive tone. Now, and also because the tone, guys, it's something else. The tone is something else. Oh my God. Oh, sharp enough to slice through the steel sun alarm. He doesn't know how to be nice. He is inside the courtroom. He doesn't know how to be nice to defense and the witness that is called by defense there. He's not nice. He doesn't know. He was not nice to Muzi. He did not say, thank you, Muzi, for coming and giving your testimony. He did not care. Judge Nisi had to beg him to dismiss Muzi. He did not care. Oh, he did not care. He did not care. He is visibly biased. Okay. So Judge Ratha repeatedly made comments that implied he just didn't believe what Zungu was saying in that witness box. When Zungu tried to explain how he was allegedly moved to a house near a forest by Gininda, the judge looked like someone just told him aliens landed in Soweto. You could literally feel the disbelief dripping off the branch because, wow. As he was sitting in that bench, he was like, what? Gininda took you. I already did a video. The first video that I posted today, please go listen to that. Watch it and make sure you understand that Judge Ratha has so much reverence for Gininda. Hey, guys, he would go mad if you come for Gininda and Gininda's ethics. Judge Ratha will be so mad. Judge Ratha would be so mad if you come for Gininda's ethics. Judge Ratha won't be happy with you. So you better watch out. You better watch out. Judge won't be happy. And there are anger moments too in all of this. And then we have the anger moments. These didn't sneak up on anyone. These were loud, heated, and right there on the record. He doesn't care. I guess he doesn't even hear himself. When Zungu became emotional, when he pushed back, when he started getting vocal, the courtroom went from zero to volcanic eruption very fast. You could hear the judge's frustration. You could see it in his face, the tapping, the leaning forward, the tightening jaw. They have had enough of this energy coming from him, and it was the kind of energy through like a serene, yay, 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 yay. Judge Rata, guys, he can't even help himself. There is nothing that he can do. He is so annoyed, visible, so high. Everything that happens in that box, he's like, guys, get done with your nonsense. I want to hand over my judgment. The attitude that he shows, the attitude that he has is like, you better get done, as in like yesterday, I don't have time for this. Get done. The faster you do this, the faster I give my judgment. Get done. He's giving us that thing there. And the way, guys, Ujaj Rata, he's so pro-state. He gives the pro-state vibes all the damn time. Let's not pretend that, let's not pretend the public hasn't noticed a pattern here. We have. Time and again, Judge Rata appears quick to defend the state's narrative, stepping in with explanations, counter rebuttals, and the kind of protective energy you would expect from someone sitting at the state table, not on the bench. That is what he does, Judge Rata, in that courtroom. And whenever the defense tries to challenge Gininda's actions through a cross-examination, whenever they try to expose inconsistencies throughout the entire investigation of the case, suddenly the judge becomes the state's unofficial spokesperson. He can't help himself. He can't help it. That's what he does in that courtroom. And now you could see that Ubaba Zungu is so under pressure, right? But he's still composed. He tries because he's telling his story and he's very much consistent. Absalom Zungu wasn't just testifying, he was surviving that witness stand because of Judge Rata. Between the judge's interruptions, his skeptical commentary, and his visible impatience, Zungu spent more time defending himself from the bench than from the prosecution, because Judge Rata's comments, guys, yo. And then what does all of this mean? Because wow, this raises a real serious question. If a judge can't remain neutral, or at least look neutral, especially when a key defense witness is testifying, what does that mean for fairness, for justice, for the entire trial? What is this supposed to say? What is this supposed to, even the people that are watching the case? So here's the bottom line on this. If you watch Judge Rata's exchange with Absalom Zungu and felt the tension, the aggression, the disbelief, you are not imagining it. You are not. This wasn't just courtroom management. This was a pattern, a very clear pattern. And the trial continues. The big question remains, is the bench neutral? Or is the defense fighting the state and the judge at the same time? Let me know what you think. Impartial judge or courtroom bias, loud and clear. I want to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because we are not done breaking down what's really happening inside the trial of Senzo Meyiwa Maida. So please make sure. I will see you on our next video. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.